My name is Harriett Ramona Crayton, and I am a native Houstonian. My parents lived on Ruffin and Cleveland Street, and I have many stories, even though from a little girl I can still remember walking through the paved streets of Fourth Ward with my brothers and my cousin. And speaking of my cousin, her name is Augusta Annette August. She went to Lincoln High School, Abraham Lincoln, and I just remember many Saturdays going downtown with her, hanging out at Woolworth with the Black Panthers, and just being, she was babysitting us, so we had to go wherever she took us. And so I fond memories of those Saturdays hanging out with my big cousin and hanging out with her friends who used to dance on the Larry Kane show. And then I have fond memories of when I was a little girl, I went to Miss Hills. Miss Hills was my kindergarten teacher at Gregory Elementary. Woohoo! But I remember how much I loved school, and my first school experience was Miss Wood's kindergarten. And I'm even still friends with with her nieces right now, and just remembering how much I love school and learning and just being in that environment. Other memories of Fourth Ward, we went to church at Bethel Baptist Church, and my aunt she always made sure that we were there for our Sunday school, and my parents worked. So my aunt, she was very instrumental in making sure that we went to Vacation Bible School, and we went to Sunday school, and we were just making sure that we knew the Lord, and that we're just a church-going family, and continue that. My brothers, I have 3 brothers. My mother and my father, we lived in Fourth Ward until I was to the 4th grade, and then we moved to South Park. So we were still very much a part of the community because my aunt still lived here, and we still had friends here. There used to be a hamburger place at the corner of Taft, where across from Carnegie. I don't know what the name of that hamburger place, but I remember it was a Wine Gardens grocery store right across the street, and that used to be a treat for us when we went to the grocery store, and then we walked across the street to that hamburger place. Just other memories of just walking and being able to, even though the community seemed big, now as I drive through, I'm just in awe that these are the streets that seem so big to us then, and now they seem so small, but it has so much history. My aunt, her name is Merle Johnson, and she was a longtime member of Antioch Baptist Church, where I spent many, many hours attending services with her, different functions there in the church. I remember when they put the signage up, Jesus Saves, up there. I remember when they installed that. It was a friend of hers. I do believe it's Miss, I'm not going to say the wrong name. So I was a good friend of my aunt's who was the instrumental in getting that signage put up at the church. So Antioch, Mount Horeb, going to church services there. I remember, and then when I see it now, it just seems so small, but I remember how big it was, and it's just such a beautiful feeling when you just think about it as a little girl, and now you see how things are as an adult. But this is so amazing just to think about the history of walking through these doors. Wow. And then also not only me walking through the doors, but the number of amazing people that came before me and afterwards. This is so amazing, so much history here. I would love to hear what Gregory has to say about us, because I know this group has a lot of stories to tell as well. The educators, administrators, the special guests that I'm sure that came through this historical
institution of education, and I would just, it's amazing, it's surreal, and I'm glad that I took this time to do this, because I think it's important to know where we came from in order for us to be able to successfully move and continue on our journey.
And I'm very proud to say that, this is part of my history and part of my family's history as well. Some people may think that Fourth Ward is a forgotten community, but it's not. It's rich in culture, it's rich in people, it's rich in just history. We should never forget about this part of this community, because it may be taken over with buildings and new people that may not understand or know what the history has been and who the lovely people and the wonderful people from many parts of East Texas and Louisiana and Oklahoma that came here to settle here, as my parents did from East Texas. Fourth Ward is still here, and we should never forget it. And I'm just so happy at the opportunity of seeing the museum, seeing the growth in terms of the culture and preserving the history. And whatever we can do to continue this beautiful history, we should do it. And I commit to doing what I can, my part, getting my family and friends to do their part in preserving the history and the rich culture of Fourth Ward, Houston, Texas. Thank you.